YouTube. What's up, baby? We're back in this thing again with another review. This is Q's Insight. I am Callie, and today we're going to be talking about another old movie, another classic movie, and that is Final Destination 3. All right, so we did Final Destination 1, we did Final Destination 2, now we're on to Final Destination 3. And then we got 4 or 5 coming up soon, and then 6 once it comes out, like, because it hasn't been released yet. So, as you know, if you've been to this channel before, we started off with the premise, 3 favorite scenes, the grade, and then we're on to the next one, right? So, like how I said in the other video, Final Destination 2, these movies are always outlined within that same chalk. It's just there's certain things that are different inside that chalk that makes it feel different. But it's always going to be a situation, like I said, somebody has a premonition, they get scared of doing whatever it was that they were doing in a premonition, so they don't go do it. Then they survive their death when they're supposed to die, as well as other people survive their death when they're supposed to die. And then death comes back after them one by one to collect the souls. So, for this one, for the tragedy that happens in the beginning, so this is following students. The main character I want to say that they focus on, her name is Wendy, and basically, I believe they're in high school. It's either high school or college, but I believe it's high school. And so basically, what ends up happening is you have these students all together, and they're at this theme park. Now, everybody's vibing and everything is good and stuff like that. But for Wendy, she starts to feel like something is not right. Once again, just like all the people do, they have the premonitions. And so she starts to see signs, and then eventually she gets on this roller coaster, and the rest of the students as well go along with her on that roller coaster, and she ends up having a premonition of the roller coaster breaking down, and all the people that are on it dying. So after the premonition, she freaks out. She asks, the workers, if they can, get her out of her seat. And then other people start coming along with her as well. And these are the friends or just even, people that go to the school. And they come out and they go with her as well. Of course, as soon as they leave the area, we see that her premonition comes true. The roller coaster does break down, and people do die. People do die. And then, of course, the survivors are turning around. They look at her like, yo, how'd you know this? Did you... Same old story for that, right? So, now they're tasked with the job of putting pieces together, putting the puzzles together, and figuring out, can they actually escape death? And also figuring out in what order are they going to die. So that's basically the premise of this movie. I gotta say, like, all the movies, they pretty much introduce a new aspect of, like, a way to get around death. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? That's just as a small touch. But it's like, oh, this time around, maybe we could do this and we can avoid all our deaths. Oh, no, that didn't work. This time around, maybe we could do this and we can avoid our deaths. Oh, no, that didn't work. Well, this time around, maybe we could do it this way. Maybe we can avoid our deaths. You know what I'm saying? So I really do appreciate that touch that they, like I said, this is a pie that's made of all the same layers for every single movie. And the little changes that they make, little subtle changes that they make, really make a difference, and they really stand out. So three of my favorite scenes. This may be out of order. I'm not sure. Let me go and see if I can get the names for some of these people. And if not, then I'll just explain, the death, and hopefully you'll understand what I'm saying. So for the first death, man, is which is my first favorite scene on this, will be Frankie when he is in line at a at a fast food joint, and Wendy and Wendy and Kevin, they're not knowing that he is the first car that is actually being served their fast food. They're like two cars behind them, two or one car was behind them. And a situation happens where Kevin and Wendy get pinned in their car, and then there's a big truck coming behind them. So the cars that are behind Wendy and Kevin, they move out the way. The cars still come out. I'm sorry, the truck still comes towards their car. They can't open the doors. They can't do anything like that. So eventually they end up kicking out the windshield and hopping out the car that way. Now, when they leave their car and they hop out their car, the truck still hits the line of people that are still in the line for the fast food to receive it. Now, the truck's motor like shoots out and hits Frankie in the back of his head, bro, and it just like chops like a big piece off, right? And then it's like stuck in his head. And then like 5 seconds pass, and Kevin and Wendy come out. They're like, "Oh man, it was Frankie," and they're looking at him. And then the like the I don't know. It kind of looks like a fan, bro. So whatever that is, it moves more, and it chops off the rest of the back of the dude's head. And I was like, bro, like that was hilarious, man. That was hilarious. So that would be one. Two would be what's the guy's name? So Lewis, he is a football player, and he is working out with his squad, and he's visited by Kevin and Wendy, and they're trying to explain to him like, look, like there's a pattern to the way that these people are dying, and death is already after us because of the fact that we escaped it. So we're just trying to look out for you. We're trying to make sure that you're good. He doesn't want to hear it. He's just all pumped up to work out. So he starts working out crazy in all these machines, and all the other football team members, they started going crazy and start working out on the machines as well. And Lewis ends up going to this one machine, and it's, I don't know, he's doing everything right, you know what I'm saying? But there's this one time where he like pulls down the handles and he does it too hard, and these two things on the side of his head, on each side of his head, just come together and smash his head all together, and his head is gone. So that was funny. Just the way that he was so amped when he died. He's like, yeah, like his head just blew up, bro. Like it was funny, man. One of the funnier kills on this Final Destination 3. May not be the best kill, but it was funny to me. So, and then my third favorite scene, what is it? I would say, oh, okay, so there's this girl, I don't know her name exactly, but she ends up going out with the character Ian, and they work at like this workshop or something like that, whatever, right? So what ends up happening is it's her turn to die. So Kevin and Wendy, they try to go over there. They try to explain to both, because the Ian and the girl I'm talking about, their boyfriend and girlfriend, and they both work at the same place at the warehouse. So Kevin and Wendy, they end up going to Ian and his girlfriend and trying to explain to them like, look, like death is going to come after us. You may be next, so just be careful. You work in a place where it's just various things that can happen to you, and you got to keep your eye open. You can't just be walking around here, you know, and just thinking everything's okay, because it's obviously not going to be okay. So Ian ends up getting to the point where he's mocking Kevin and Wendy, like, "Oh, you guys are tripping, like, you know, nothing's gonna happen." Da 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 da. And Ian's girlfriend ends up not believing it as well. Man, something ends up happening, and Ian's girlfriend ends up falling down, and she falls down against these boxes, and on top of the boxes is a needle gun. And so, bro, she's sitting there, she falls down, she leans back, the needle gun cuts on, bah, 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 just through her face, and she just like, I was like, yo. Oh, she got it so bad, bro. She couldn't even talk, bro. She was like, yo, man. But that would be my third favorite scene from this Final Destination number 3. For the grade, I gave Final Destination 1 a 10 out of 10. I gave Final Destination 2 a 10 out of 10. For this one, it's not as potent as the other 2 previous movies, but it is potent in one of the movies that come after it. So I don't want to grade it too high. I don't want to grade it too low. But for me, I think that they did a very good job for the third one. You know, it still kind of had the same feel of Final Destination. There's a Final Destination that's in this series that does not feel like Final Destination, or just feels like a straight to DVD version of it. And I'll get on that when it comes time to it. But they did their job fairly well. So I'm going to give this movie I did 10 out of 10. I'm going to give this a 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. All right? 8 out of 10 for me. If you guys saw this movie, whether it been, recently, or you're going to watch it like after this, or you saw it in the past, like when it came out, whatever it may be, let me know what you guys thought about this movie, and how do you rank it 1, 2, and 3? Which ones are your favorites? Of course, we're going to still keep on going down the line for these reviews for the rest of this franchise, but just for the first 3 that I've reviewed, which ones are your favorites? What were some of your favorite kills on this movie? Do you feel like any of these kills were better than, per se, some of the kills from the second movie or the first movie? Do you appreciate the different layers that they add on to each of these movies, where it's like, oh, well, maybe we could escape death this way, or this way, or this way, and then it never really works out. But it's just the fact that they add that in there, like, for me, it's a nice touch. So let me know how you guys felt about that. But yeah, that's it, man. 10 out of, I'm sorry, not a 10 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Heard the premise. Know my 3 favorite scenes, or 3 of my favorite scenes. So yeah, just make sure you comment the stuff that I talked about down below in the comment box. Always remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's Insight. I am Cali. Until next time.